Okay, who's going to lose their job? The first thing I want to emphasize here is this a tough conversation for people to it's a tough conversation for me because as someone who is at an ESPN affiliate, has gotten to work closely with the Baylor staff and staffs of multiple college football teams, be behind the scenes. I know these people have families. I see their families every week. I see them in the stands. I see their kids, where their kids go to high school. I cover those games. I'm hanging out with these people day in and day out in the trenches. And so many of them are good people. They are genuinely kind-hearted. They've had success at other schools. You cannot have had no success in a career to get to a Power 5 level, to get to the Big 12. You have to at some point along the line. You didn't get lucky. You were a good football coach in some respect, in some regard, to get here. That said, I'm going to put it like this. If you work in sales and you go 2 years without making a sale, or you work in sales and your sales goal for your company is to sell $250,000 in product, $100,000 in product, and you sell a third of that, you finish 4 and 8 in sales. After 2 years of that, you're going to get fired. You are now costing the company money. You are costing the company money in the same way coaches are costing their company, their school, revenue from donors, from attendance, from TCU brought in $3 billion in media revenue from their run to the national championship last year. When you win like that, you bring money to your employer. If I tomorrow had my goals as a podcast host, as a radio host, if for 2 years, 3 years, I didn't get ratings, I'm going to get fired. If I didn't do my job to the level it was supposed to be due, I'm going to get fired at level it's supposed to be done, that is. And the craziest part for you, the salesperson, for me, the podcaster, the radio host, I don't get the rest of my $30 million, right? I'm not getting $30 million here. Maybe you are, but that's not coming to us. We don't get the big buyout or any of that. In college football, you accept the high stakes of the job and you go. Now, I want to bring up that word stakes a little bit as well in the context of why these guys are being fired. Fans root for that word. In my opinion, people are more interested in stakes than they are winning. The best part of a World Series victory, the best part of your team winning the Super Bowl or national championship, to me, is always the day before, the night before, the morning of. The moment it happens is great, but it's the high stakes that lead up to it. It's the build-up. It's the games prior that have created this atmosphere that makes winning so fun. The crux, the importance, the climax is there, certainly necessary, but the build-up to that moment, the stakes that create the moment are what are most important. We all care more about stakes than we do winning. STAKES. I believe that. Now, it's tough to admit because everybody says, winning is fun. We want to win. Winning is good. True. But a lot of these teams, a lot of these fan bases that are upset are missing stakes. When's the last time you had that Houston had a high pressure game where it felt like, we're playing for something big here? The stakes are really high. Been a bit. For Baylor, you didn't have stakes this season. To go to a bowl game, yeah, but that's not where you want to be after winning a Sugar Bowl a couple years ago, seeing the stakes of a Big 12 championship. If you're at TCU, you're saying, we just saw the highest stakes, a national championship, and now we had to go a sleeper 42-17 over Baylor, and for what? For some stupid trophy? For nothing? Fans miss what it's like to compete for the highest prizes, for the biggest moments in sports. And when a coach cannot deliver that, when a coach cannot, look at like a Penn State, look at a Mark Richt at Georgia, or now at Penn State of James Franklin. Those guys aren't winning the biggest games, but they are still in their position because they've created stakes. They've created high pressure, big moments for fans to latch onto. And there are a lot of coaches in the Big 12 that haven't. So right now, will Dana Holgorsen be here next year? I don't know. Has he bought himself time with a win in Big 12 play over Baylor a couple weeks ago? I don't know. I think he's in the short list of guys that could be gone. Will Neil Brown win 8 games and get to stick around at West Virginia? I think he's earned that. I think he's earned another year at West Virginia. Have we deduced that he's probably not the guy that's going to win a Big 12 championship at that school? I also think that's the case. But he deserves one more year based off of this past season. Is it rightful? In college football, there's a quick draw. There's a quick pull, and the guy's gone. I don't know, but he's likely going to get a shot. Dave Aranda, does he come back to Baylor? He shouldn't, but he likely will. So now, do we see teams truly put up the fact that, hey, we want to be an elite athletic department. We want to raise the stakes. We want to play in those big moments. We're willing to make a change. We love these people as people, but they didn't get it done as a head coach. Is your school willing to have the gumption, the gall, to pull the trigger on an offensive court, on a Jeff Levy, on a Kendall Briles, on an A-Rod? So we'll find out very soon. With Christmas comes the firings. This has been, it always will be. Let's come back tomorrow. Let's do some power rankings. I'd love to talk to you then. If you need anything, send me a message. Tell me hello. I like talking to you guys. I missed you yesterday. This has been, it always will be, Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.